Libertines, Time for Heroes, and XFM 104.9. Right, okay, so have you got anything that is science, as opposed to nonsense?
Well,
Kid went off with some monkeys, grew hair, came back, shaved him, it didn't grow back. I mean, just think. Right, something else.
there's a few things I found.
Yeah.
There's a fella
Oh, God.
who had hiccups for 69 years. That was a bit annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the dog with the wig that we've discussed.
Imagine if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
There's the dog with the wig that we've already discussed.
Did we discuss that?
Not really.
Did I not tell you what he said? I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else have we got? Well, there's something here that you sort of know.
Is this going out live?
Yeah, this is happening, right?
Go on.
But remember when you talked about sponges?
Yeah.
If you get a red sponge and a blue sponge.
You liquidise them, pour them back into a tank. After a few hours, they know which was which, and they reform as a red sponge and a blue sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird when you told me.
Yeah.
Looked it up, did a bit of research.
Yeah.
Thought that's sort of sciencey.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with a mouse's brain.
Okay. Explain a bit more?
No, you can't.
If you get a dead mouse,
Yep.
put its brain into a blender, blend it up, leave it standing for a bit.
Making that up, aren't you? You're confusing this. You watch Nigella Lawson make some sort of pudding.
No.
What do you mean? It won't work with the brain.
Well, it does with I mean, not human brain. Don't be trying that.
Although.
But, no, a mouse one. A mouse one.
And what happens?
It sort of reforms. Goes back together again. No, it's because apparently it's made up of the same stuff as.
But it doesn't, does it? Because if it's dead, if it's a dead brain, the cells can't act anyway. The fact the sponge is that it doesn't kill the cells, it liquidises them, it doesn't kill the cells. Yeah. So it couldn't be a dead brain anyway. It would have to be a live brain taken out from a live mouse for the cells to be getting oxygen and working and being sensitive to each other. And that, I don't see how that could work like it does in sponges.
I mean, do you know what I mean?
You're not a scientist.
I've just sort of read it and gone, oh, that's interesting, I'll tell Ricky and Steve about it.
Yeah.
You're quizzing me as if I've come up with it. It's someone else has done it and said it works.
Sure.
So I'm not...
Do you think ghosts are behind it, or do you think there's a scientific explanation for it?
No, it's just one of them weird things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what you sort of science covered for this week.
Well, that was another barnstorming feature.
Is that it? Is that the two things you got
Thanks
this
very
week?
much for that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
There's nothing behind them. Do you know what I mean by this? There's not like a weight of intellect behind these facts.
Why don't you make that your science project for this week? Find a dead mouse somewhere, Carl, and a blender, and we'll bring that in next week. We'll do it live on air. See what happens.
Oh. Do you feel sort of let down a little bit sometimes with our reactions?
Well, what are you expecting us to do? What are you expecting us to just look at you, open-mouthed, staring at you in awe?
Just like, oh God, yeah, where did you find that out? And like,
but
we know.
Never tell us.
We know where you found it out. You looked on the internet and a strange homemade website by a maniac somewhere, who puts on stupid things that he heard through Chinese whispers. That's where you get your information from. I doubt that anything you've ever come up with is verified. If it is, it's luck.
But what do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? I'm just...
I'd like to know what the source of the information is. I'd like it to be, a research study by the University of Columbia, rather than, a guy who calls himself Mr. Pickles. On a website somewhere. www.lunatics.com.
I mean, oh God.
Some kind of evidence, do you know what I mean?
I must warn you now, you know that Steven Spielberg thing's coming, Taken? Yeah? About alien abduction. When you watch it, just remember this, it's not a documentary. Okay?
Alright.
Alright?
You remember E.T.? We were discussing that earlier. You know that's not fact. It's actual fact.
Brilliant. Black Star Radiohead from the Bends on XFM 104.9.
Rick John has emailed in. It looks here like he's maybe trawled the web himself. I mean, I don't know if people just immediately leap onto the web every time Carl says something in his defence.
I think our listeners are always on the web.
Yeah. Anyway, he seems like he's reprinted here a news story, which seems to confirm Karl's Monkey Boy story.
Yeah, what was the news
Doctors
story?
baffled by boy 6 covered in ape-like hair. Doctors in Kazakhstan are baffled after finding a 6-year-old boy covered in ape-like hair.
Yeah.
The boy, called Ablay, was found in a remote mountain village close to the Chinese border. He's covered in thick hair from head to toe and has an oval-shaped skull. Doctors suspect nuclear radiation or a genetic disorder may be responsible.
Fine.
But it's an interesting bit here.
But sorry, it's not that you could have genetic defects. I've seen lots of people born with long noses, 5 feet, etc. I'm saying
You've
that
been
he
to
wasn't
Bristol,
normal. he wasn't normal, and then went to live with monkeys and grew the hair.
Well,
That's
no,
my
true.
point.
But it says his mother and father are distant relatives. Such marriages are common in the Kazakhstan mountain hamlets. Now, the village elders were consulted as to what to do with him, right? Now, these are the village elders, these are the wise men of the village. These are people, presumably, that all year long are telling the village how to live, how to survive.
Yeah, you're
what
in
to
charge
do.
because you've lived longest.
Yeah, exactly. You're presumably solving any kind of moral conundrums,
Yeah.
any sort of awkward things. Do you know what they suggested that they do with their hairy son?
Go on.
Send him to the circus.
The Carl's nodding.
Put him in the circus. That was what they suggested, and the mother actually wanted him to go to school.
Instead of the I don't know, school or circus, I don't know. We don't know what's better for him.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
We must consult the elders.
What do you think, Carl?
It's not a bad life, is it?
What, the circus?
Yeah.
Well, you ran
Kids
away
would
from
love
it.
Yeah.
Love it. But remember that thing that I saw about that fella who, I don't know if we should talk about it really, so
Go on. Tell us now. You hooked me. Come on. You can say it. It's okay. What, are you worried that it might be insulting to someone?
well, it's not nice, but...
Well, you're not taking the mickey out of it. You're telling us... Go on.
It's just, it was in that book again that you got me, you know, the book full of weird people.
Go on.
And things that are wrong with them, and hairy people, and
Yeah.
lad with 3 legs and that. There's a fella, basically just a head and a little body on a skateboard,
Yeah.
right? Picture of him having a shave. And he was shaving with his mouth bit,
With his tongue.
Like that on the radio.
Yeah.
Just like-
Carl is now doing an impression of a man shaving with his mouth.
Yeah. Well, it's just a head, bear in mind. He's doing an impression. Imagine a head with a very tiny body on a skateboard shaving with its tongue. That's what Carl was doing.
Oh, and he was depressed because he kept getting hats for Christmas.
but if you were him, you would just grow a beard, wouldn't you, rather than
Oh,
rather than go through all
But you
that
get
hassle.
it caught in the wheels of his skateboard.
Clash. Rock the Casbah on XFM 104.9. Nearly it. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
So the answers to this week's Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us the clues again and the answers?
Yeah, the first one was, don't argue with him, he ain't gonna change his mind. The initials there were AA. That's adamant. Adamant.
Yeah.
Alright?
That's
Not bad.
good. That's
That's a
good.
good one. Second one, he always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That was P. That was Pixies.
Picks his, it kind of works, yeah.
And the third one,
I'll let you have that one.
I'll have to put that woman in an oven. That was AB. That was Anita Baker.
Anita Baker.
It's good.
Anita Baker.
Anita
Yeah, I'll
Baker.
let you have all 3 today.
So
You've done well.
So do you want to pick a winner, Steve?
Well done to Mark Leder from Bow. He wins those fairly mediocre prizes. Enjoy that.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well, we've had a few laughs.
We've had a few laughs, a few tears, a few scientific breakthroughs.
Exactly.
Got to get a picture of Carl somewhere in the national press, just his little round head there.
There's an email here. Carl is trying to distract attention from the fact that he is a monkey raised among humans and horses and has failed to develop hair.
It's, I can just imagine him
Yeah.
being the second cleverest in a troop of monkeys. You know what I mean?
Second cleverest.
You know what I mean? So,
Picking fleas out there.
oh, look at his little face. I'll tell you what, Heat, I'm gonna get a picture of you. Just put it in the radio section of Heat. This is what Carl looks like.
Oh, another email. Someone said, when the monkey boy went to the shops, he was naked. Where did he keep his money?
Good point. Didn't happen then.
Right. Well,
Oh,
So that's that. We didn't even do all.
What do you mean?
We didn't get round to ritual.
oh, come on, give us
No, we haven't-
ritual.
we haven't really
We
got
have
time.
quickly.
No,
We
it's,
have got time. Just do it. Why haven't we got time? It's 10:02.
right. Well, we've got a long track to finish on.
Well, just do it.
It's.
Do it!
Are you familiar with the place called
go on.
Easter Island?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what they do out there?
Eat eggs. I don't know.
Well,
Go on.
that's close.
Go on.
Right. What they do, right? There's a lot of people living on an island,
Yeah. Easter Island?
and to find out who's going to be running the place, they
don't hold elections, do they?
they have these birds that lay like expensive eggs on an island.
Expensive eggs! They like expensive eggs.
Fabergé eggs.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
On this island,
Yeah. Easter Island?
once a year. No, off it, like about 2 miles out. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Whitsun
and
Island.
the sea.
True Tuesday.
Yeah, Pancake Island.
Just
Tell us!
Steve, we'll play us
No! Tell us! Right, finish
Next
it now.
week, next
You
week.
don't you dare! I'll
see you later.
Joni Mitchell.
You.
Blue Motel Room from the album Jerry. It's the song for ladies this week.
But then you've got to make sure you try and get a job, and school was sort of saying,
So 15 now.
Hang on, why did Twiggies? Why did you stop going down Twiggies?
well, it was short, wasn't it?
Amazing.
Oh, it closed down.
Closed down. It had a load of toilet rolls in there. It'd been turned into like a storage unit. I've never really had like a dream. I've just bumbled along. Because, like I've said, it's
Bumbled.
that thing of
Clackered,
sort of
bumbled, limsy. It's like, call my fucking bluff.
there's no point sort of wishing for too much, because if you don't get it, you'll be fed up. So it's better just to sort of go, well, let's see what's around the corner. This is what I've said to you about a sat-nav system.
Right.
Isn't it? It's the same thing. Yeah, sure, have the sat-nav, type in where you want to go, and it'll take you straight there. But what I say is, use the back streets. Have a look around, turn off, don't go straight ahead, turn right. The little dead ends.
Yeah.
Have a
Well, you
look.
might get mugged.
Have a look.
Don't go down the dead ends.
Why not?
You've got to reverse back out
There's nothing
again.
there. Dead end.
No, but have a look.
Well, there's nothing there. It's dead end.
Well, what's the road doing there then?
Well, it's a dead end. There's
Yeah, but
dead
there must be
ends.
something down there.
There's nothing. It's dead. It's just ends.
Just a wall.
Right, so it's not a problem. Reverse.
Well, don't go down in the first place if you know it's a dead end. Don't tell people to go down a dead end. They've got to reverse out. Difficult.
Well, I'd say just have a look. You see, that's the difference between me and you. I'd
Right.
have a look down the dead
It's
end.
dead end. No, don't worry. It's
What's
dead
down
end.
there?
There's
Just
nothing, mate. Dead end.
Rubbish? Just
Yeah, no,
rubbish?
nothing. Dead
Nothing
end.
at all?
Yeah, no, put going there. Dead end.
Right, so I'll go, well, I'll just have a look for myself because I don't believe you.
Okay, well, go on then.
Right, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this I've found.
What have you found?
Box of money that you didn't know about. All I'm saying is it could be
He has still
anything.
got the brain of a 10-year-old, hasn't he?
of money.
He's still got the brain of a 10-year-old.
I'm just, set your stall out.
Right. So where's the store? Where are you setting the store? Not in the dead end.
Dead end, 'cause there's no through traffic.
thoroughfare. Yeah, you want to be on
This
a
is
sort of
crazy.
public highway. Where are you setting the stall out? What are you selling? What are you selling?
Well, this is what I'm saying to you.
What are you selling
I'm
first?
selling a mixture of stuff.
What? Like what?
All sorts.
What have you bought it with? A bag of money you found in the dead end?
Leg warmers.
So you got new leg warmers with do you want cufflinks for them? What? Do you want cufflinks for them leg warmers? Well, no. Why would I do that? Well, you got to fucking look smart, ain't you? You cunt.
So you're selling, what are you selling?
So,
yeah.
you set your stall out.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
isn't it dangerous to sell all the same product in that shop?
Right.
Okay,
I don't know what you're talking
where's
about.
the analogy going? This is
Yeah.
a metaphor. I think it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Or simile. It's a
What,
simile.
what are you selling? What are you selling first? Bang.
No,
2,
hang on.
3, 4.
No, but
Quick,
this is
it's
what
The
I'm saying
Apprentice.
to you.
What
This
it
is what I'm saying
Go
to you,
on.
though. I
Right.
just said to you,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know what you wanted to do. You haven't told me. But
Right.
I'm
Do you want me
saying,
to tell you what I wanted to do when I wanted to be... Well, at 5 years old, I wanted to own a sweet shop until my mum said, you know, you got to buy the sweets first. Right. From 10, I wanted to be like a scientist. 15, a vet kicked in.
But at
Carry
some
on.
point you jettisoned all of that to try and pursue a pop career.
20, I wanted to be a pop star. 25, I thought I'd better get a job.
well,
At 30, I did.
me saying turn off the main road and do a right
Yes.
is saying just have a look around in the same way that if you go into a
It's a
shop,
metaphor, wasn't it?
yeah,
Right.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
In the same way that if you go into a shop, you're thinking I'm getting a quarter of bonbons.
Right, bombs. Bombs.
But by the time you get to the counter,
You're clackered.
and you get some licorice all sorts instead because you thought, actually, I forgot about them.
Sorry, now this isn't a metaphor, is it? This is a real shop now, isn't it?
I just mean you're gonna be let down. You're gonna be very, very disappointed with life if you know
But I haven't been
What?
disappointed
If
with
what?
that.
If what?
if
what?
if
If what?
the thing you're aiming for
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
But what if it does happen? I'd like to take issue with this because there's a lot of young people who listen to our podcasts, and if they listen to this tripe that if you try for something in life it won't happen, so don't bother, I think it's a bloody disgrace.
No.
Imagine if Leona Lewis had thought that when she went on the bloody X Factor. She wouldn't have got punched by that bloke in that. Alright, that doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean? She would not be living her dreams.
Yeah, but we don't know what Leona wanted to do. She might
She
have had a
wanted to be a
backup
singer,
plan.
that's why she's done it.
She might have had a backup plan.
Yeah, but she fulfilled the main ambition, which was to sing. That's why she went on the show. She didn't go on there because she thought I might want to work down a branch of Waterstones.
You think she went in there and said, quarter bomb bomb? She said, oh, this is X Factor. But she went, oh, go on then.
Well, I was saying.
Well, what about the girl who looked like a fat baby? She went on there with a dream. It's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah!
But the point is, I'm not saying you all have to go on the X Factor if you're a hopeless idiot. I'm saying if you've got a little bit of talent and you pursue it, it might take you somewhere. If you want to be a vet or a doctor or pop star, you might have a chance. You may as well have a stab for it than say, no, it's alright, I'll just sit around in my underpants.
Yeah, they're doing a new one, the X-ray Factor, where you can actually, become a top radiologist.
But I've said this for an idea. I think they should do that. Because how many singers do we need in the world? You see, that's the thing. We're talking about the future. Yeah. I think we're not going to talk anymore. I think it's going to be like living in an opera. The way things are going on now, everyone wants to sing.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you did a TV programme to try and get a doctor,
X-ray Factor.
It's all about, getting in young kids, do live surgery. There's big queues anyway. People are queuing up to have operations done.
Yeah.
So you say, look, Hilda, you have got a problem with your left bunion. You can either wait for your proper doctor and hospital, but it's going to be a 2-year waiting list.
Or you can have Jedward do it for you.
Are you free Saturday night, live?
Because we've got 2 17-year-olds who are going to do it.
Hilda! She comes out. They sort
little voice. I've never heard him do a little voice before.
So wait.
Okay. So this is what is this? This is a talent show where people can have a go at being a doctor.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, this is like something from the Middle Ages.
But they need volunteers who would rather have an apprentice, someone have a go.
Well, it's not even an apprentice, it's someone with no training at all.
Yeah.
They learn how to do major operations in a week.
But no, not major ones, that's for the final. You do a heart,
of course, you've got to build up to that, sure.
But you're
a
building
heart
up.
transplant for the final.
So anyway,
amazing.
so it's Hilda, and Hilda's not the person, she's not operating, she's just the person who needs a bunion removed.
She's the foot problem, yeah.
So she comes in, they have a quick chat with her.
Have a chat with her, how's your life been? Bit of Coldplay under her. She's going, oh, it's terrible, I can hardly walk and all that, and they go, right.
Here's a fowl who looks like a baby.
And then...
And you think this is you don't see any problems with this so far? You've not identified any concerns yet?
If it means you get younger people into other jobs other than singing...
I agree with you. I think it's crazy that everyone now just wants to be famous, a singer or something, and we don't need them. They're just contriving it. All they're doing is knocking the last one off the top #1 spot. It's just a factory.
But I'm not talking about everyone should try and be a singer, am I? What I'm saying is sometimes you're allowed to pursue your dreams, and they might be you may fulfil those dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. It may be that you want to operate on a woman called Hilda or a bunion. Pursue that dream. But according to your negative views, we shouldn't even try and do that either.
What I'm saying is...
Go on. What's he saying?
Leona was an example. I'm not saying everyone should try and be like Leona.
No, but
listen to his point, Stephen, because he's got a very good point coming up.
Here it comes. This is it.
Okay. He hasn't said a normal word yet, but he's going to say some now, and they're all going to be profound.
People's dreams aren't their own dreams.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean by that?
Okay, keep going. No, keep going. Let him, no. He'll explain. You don't need to ask any questions. He'll explain.
Because they think they know what they want because they see it on the telly. They see, someone singing a song and they go, I want to do that. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, change the dreams. Change the dreams.
Yeah.
Surgery. They're watching that. They're seeing Hilda happy with a better foot. The doctor's getting all the praise. They go, I want a bit of that action. That's what it's about. They don't want to be singers. They want to be known. They want to be famous.
Yeah.
So, fine. Have a bit of fame, but do some good. Fix Hilda's foot.
Sorry, was that the end of the point?
Yeah, because all we've done, we've changed the dreams. Dreams are...
Well, you've hit on a good point there, because what is astounding is that when people are inundated with praise for people who are just clothes horses. They are just skinny nobodies who don't do anything except have their picture taken, and they're role models for, I'm not talking about, anyone in particular, but it's just these people who, want to be seen with other celebrities and marry celebrities and be a celebrity. People think that's an easy life because they're getting rewarded for it. And yet, someone who's stuck in a laboratory trying to come up with a cure for AIDS, they don't know or care about them. And
okay, can I just point out though that if we're going to have a go at people being successful, making money, and being well known for doing nothing of any value, I point you to the man sat opposite me here.
And that's, hey, I tell you, there's times when I, lie awake at night thinking, what was my dreams?
Yeah, but
I'd love to be a little
I've got
doctor.
a new boiler.
Hold on.
And 2 houses.
I'd love to be a little doctor.
Yeah, I mean, it's past me now. There's no way I can go back.
Well,
But it would have been brilliant.
you're wrong. Karl Pilkington!
Hilda!
What is it? What now, Hilda? What's up with you? I've got terrible piles. There's some sort of blockage up there. I haven't gone to the I haven't gone to the toilet for a week. Well, Karl, can you unblock Hilda's arse? Now live, unblocking Hilda's arse. Karl Pilkington.
I thought she had bad feet.
No, her feet. No, Jedward fixed her feet. There's a lovely job. That's why they stayed in last week. Her arse is worse than her feet. It's because she's been off her feet for so long, because she couldn't walk. Her arse took the brunt of it, and it's just terrible. Piles have burst. It's blocked up there where all she just eats is cheese because she's so depressed.
I'd probably knock it on the head there.
Why?
I'd just say, like going back to the street thing, I've gone down the wrong avenue. I go, this isn't for me. I didn't know I'd be, eye to eye with this. It's not for me, and that's how you find out that it's not for you, by doing it.
Right.
But at least I gave it a go.
So this the same as you had one fight with Leroy, you went along to a dance studio that was shut, you've seen Hilda's arse, and it's turned you off proctology.
Once again, you've just abandoned it.
Yeah, well, there's
Have
no point.
Have a go! Just feel inside Hilda's back passage, feel the blockage. Right.
No, because the audience have already decided. They've seen a weakness in me, they're going to vote me out.
No,
There's no point me getting dirty fingers for this. But it's funny as well, because you had 2 names. I just remembered. I started off as Dazzling Darren's Disco, just because the first lights I could afford belonged to someone who had their name put in lights.
Right.
So I went along with that
You had
name
to
for a bit.
pretend you were called Darren.
That's lovely.
That's great.
Is it worth it?
Brilliant.
And then it went on to Pilkins making music.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's great.
Anyway, should we have some more music? 'Cause,
Yeah,
we've
go
been
on.
waiting for hours.
What are you going to play, Karl?
We've got the Cooper Temple Claws.
Oh,
lined up.
brilliant.
Yes, Steve Merchant here.
Merchant.
Steve Merchant.
Yeah, okay, don't keep saying it.
And Karl, obviously, yeah.
Now,
Stop fiddling, Karl.
We've been digging around in Karl's office, haven't we?
As ever, Rick.
He's a little bit nervous about this,
well,
but he doesn't need to be.
I don't think he is.
You just need to
because-
trust us, Karl. Just trust us. Trust us with the music. Trust us with the speech output. Trust us
Yeah.
with the... That's easy for me to say. Yeah.
But I'm conscious, Rick, that sometimes perhaps we're a little ill-prepared on the show, and I just wanted to make sure that we were sort of keeping ourselves abreast of developments, changes at the station, policy.
You said breast.
Thanks. Policies particularly, and I was lucky enough just to stumble across this, and I feel that actually a couple of weeks back we were a little ill-prepared because we hadn't read this.
Yeah.
This is the XFM information. It's the guidelines, if you will, on how to react to deaths, disasters, and other news emergencies.
Yeah, and there's very important ones, like a royal death, there's
Well, there's certain criteria. I mean, obviously, the general guidelines state that occasionally something will happen in the world that prompts XFM to break away from the normal programming and react to our audience's feelings of shock or grief. As broadcasters, we have a duty to think
They're
carefully
not talking about our show, there, are they? They're talking about something happening.
No,
there.
all shows.
I mean, no, like people being caused grief, just Karl's on the air.
Right.
You mean like,
I mean a bigger event.
A royal dying.
A royal dying or some kind of, major disaster.
Sure.
We should be able to tailor our output to show that we feel the same way as the audience in these times of trouble.
No, definitely.
That would never involve the station shutting down completely, Rick.
No.
I want to reassure you of that now. And it would never involve playing classical music or stopping all speech content.
Sure. Because they put that in there because a lot of stations, that's exactly what they do.
Exactly.
But XFM have deemed it that we don't have to go completely down the line there. We have to do it in our own little way.
People need company at times like this.
Yeah.
And should be able to look to us for both factual information and emotional reaction.
Sure.
We simply have to change our tone and our playlist to show that we're all feeling the same thing.
Right.
Be it, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, or, well, it's pretty sad, but she was 101 after all.
And that's actually in that
That's
document,
what it actually says in the general guidelines. That's as they are stated. If you should hear about the death of a major royal, this is information that...
You're actually reading this, by the way,
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
you?
reading this out. What you should do is say nothing about this on air under any circumstances. Drop all the ads and promos from your schedule. And if Chris Smith, the news guy, is in the building, get him in the studio immediately.
Yeah.
That's what it says, Karl.
Yeah.
If Smitty is, I don't care where he is, I don't care if he's on holiday.
Let's phone him up now and tell him someone's died.
To see how he would react. Get him down there. See how long it takes him to get down here. Where does Smitty live?
Because I know where he lives. He lives in a cave and he slides down a pole. And he gets into a car. His butler is up there and he sorts things out.
I suppose the approach there is that only Chris can deliver this tragic news.
Yeah.
If it was you or I...
Yeah, it wouldn't have the same. I remember, do you remember the XFM, as it first started, it launched the day after, Princess Diana died?
I know.
And I'd never done radio before. I was nervous enough. And it was launched, and it was,
Because was it the first night? Because what I've forgotten, actually, until you mentioned that then, is of course you used to host your own phone-in show.
God.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I gave that up after a week because it was just too stressful.
I have never seen a man so petrified.
I know.
He spent all his time preventing people getting through on the phone lines.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't let people come on air.
And for when I had to go on air, right, my mates sort of like came over the first day, and they were mucking around, and I was having a drink with them where I used to work, and I was going, I've got to go on air in a minute, and I was like, drinking shandy or something, because I was saying I didn't want to be drunk and everything, and I kept saying, don't swear. Telling my mates not to swear, and they look at me like I was mental. I was going, don't swear, because I'll swear. I was terrified of two things. Just swearing, and operating the desk. I thought, I'm gonna, even if I get through operating the desk, I'm gonna swear. And it just, it was awful.
Didn't you spill coffee over the machine and then go, oh shit, on your first link? I can't remember. But I know it wasn't a triumph.
No, I started off with I was really like music, and I started off with a classical piece by a bloke called Kuntz, who's a German composer.
Brilliant.
So I knew it was okay.
You're
then.
off. You're
off, yeah.
And so how did it go then? Because I remember it was appalling.
Carl! He's a composer! Look it up!
Yeah, I know he is.
Right, 08700 800 1234.
Yeah.
If you know what the composer I'm talking. What?
Yeah, we've done it now.
Chill out, Carl.
Come on.
You know what people are like?
What?
They take things badly, don't they?
Like who? Like what?
You just... It's like a bull to a red rag, whatever.
But the thing is that we say bad words and we get in trouble. But I was listening to Heart the other day, and they played Luther Vandross, and that song, was it Never Too Much, Never Too Much? Play it a bit. The lyric in this is disgusting.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started.
Hear that? Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. That's filthy. Play it again.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started.
That is
just
depraved.
filthy. What a filth.
What is he doing?
Just saying like that. Imagine that. He's got a young girl's picture, and he's going, oh, thanks for that. And he phones her up and goes, what did it say? You know that picture you gave me? She goes, yeah. He goes, well, I looked at it just to get me started. That poor young woman must...
I imagine more that, like, she's sleeping, and he just sneaks in and he's got a Polaroid camera, she wakes up, he goes, what are you doing? She goes, what are you up to? He goes, no, I'm just taking a picture. Well, what? I'm gonna...
you won't be here tomorrow, will you?
Yeah, you're going on holiday tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I need that.
I just need something to get me started. What do you mean, get you started? Yeah, you know, in the morning.
And then that's on Heart.
Alright.
6.2.
So don't come on the air and tell us what we can and cannot say, and we can't say
classical composers' names, or philosophers like Kant.
Exactly.
So don't tell us that, Carl.
Alright?
Just play a record. What you got,
Play
Steve?
some rides, Steve.
Yeah, I just think it's time that we listen to some Ride Rit. We haven't listened to them, I don't know about you and I, but I haven't listened to any for about 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Just thought it'd be good to have them on the air again, and it's a tragedy they split up. This is the classic Chelsea girl, play it. Absolute girl. Their lifetime.
I know, yeah.
Right, it's great sound.
But influenced lots of bands at that
seems to
time.
me, yeah,
So the old Britpop thing and the Wall of Sound, and they weren't. Were they shoegazers? Do you think they were? Weren't they?
Well, that's what they thought of, because there was a lot of nude lead guitar, but good melodies as well, Rick, and that's always important.
It is to me.
I don't know about you, Carl, but it is important to us.
Yeah.
We've just had a couple of people, Sarah and Claire, call up and wish us luck for the BAFTAs, but for some reason they want one of us to do an impression of Leslie Phillips.
Can't do it. Doesn't he say ding dong?
And hello and all that.
That's not bad.
But I want Carl to do it though.
Yeah, go on, Carl.
Go on.
Hello.
Well done. Say ding dong.
Ding dong.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you do any other impressions?
No. I can't think of any.
Hello. Do that.
Hello.
Yeah, you look like a ventriloquist dummy.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Oh, God.
Do, my name is Bond, James Bond, as though it were Sean
My name's
Connery.
Bond. James Bond. Do that, go on.
My name's Bond.
No, do it as though you were doing an impression.
Sean.
So I'm trying to be Scottish.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Perhaps a bit more specific than that. Sean Connery.
My name's Bond.
Keep going.
My name's Bond, James Bond.
Like Jimmy Stewart. It's not that. This is the best fun. It's like having your very own Fisher-Price toy for 2 hours a week. It's great. Do Roger Moore. Do that.
Roger Moore.
Phyllis Spears, Percy Sugden. I'm licensed to kill.
Anyway, she just said...
No, this is a great game.
No, that's not
No, we'll come back to this another time.
Yeah,
maybe.
anything you want Carl to do. Carl's homework today was come up with those, you know those, lateral thinking things?
Go on.
Those stupid...
Oh, I hate
They're
them.
ridiculous, aren't they? Like a man went into a field and died, and you're meant to ask questions like, oh, was it... And it turns out his parachute didn't open. So it's basically, it's not logic, it's what am I thinking?
Yeah. Well, there's that one where there's a man in... This is the worst I've ever heard.
Yeah.
A man is found dead lying in a phone box,
Yeah.
right? His wrists are cut, he's bled to death, and there's glass everywhere,
Yeah,
right? And the phone's hanging off the
Yeah.
hook, right?
yeah.
What happened to him,
I know this, yeah.
right? Do you know what the answer is, Carl?
It's ridiculous.
He was a fisherman.
Yeah.
He was on the phone. Someone asked him how big his fish was. He did that gesture like fishermen always do to say it was much bigger than it actually
Put
was.
his arms out.
His arms went through the glass, and he slashed his wrists, and he died.
Why would you do that with someone on the phone? When they can't see how big you're actually saying?
Well, that's one of the many problems with that, that conundrum.
Yeah, not the point we were making, but again, good. I mean, you're there. That is good thinking.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Now, what do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe guns are cool? It's a hot topic there, Carl, and I imagine you've got some strong opinions.
He's saying what?
He is saying, basically, that all this rap music is advocating gun use and violence against people, and he's very worried about it.
Nah.
Okay.
All right.
Next one.
Have you thought about going into politics? Because
gotta go-
I'll tell you this, they wouldn't be able to argue with you, really, in the Houses of Parliament. They'd have no- where would they start?
Yeah. My fellow, he's an idiot.
No, but violence has always been about, isn't it? Like cowboys and Indians. They didn't have PlayStations and Tupac then, and there was still violence.
What do you mean? In the Wild West?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really blame it on stuff. It'll always happen. That's, that's the world, and it's made up of different types and that.
Again, he's right. Again, he's sort of right in a way, in his innocence, in his buffoonery.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just said there's always been violence. You know what I mean? It's sort
Even,
of like...
dinosaurs, look at them. They cause a lot
And
of
then he
trouble.
went too far and made himself sound
No,
like a
but,
fool
but
again.
I'm just saying, it's always happened, it always will.
Yeah.
Don't try and change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just chill out is what you're saying.
Do you know what we should do? We should all get on our bike, go and find ourselves when we're little and go, be careful what you do in life. Oasis, Supersonic, still good,
Still
isn't
as
it?
good as ever.
Still good, on XFM 104.9, with Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
You'll be pleased, Rick.
Go on.
Ricky Anderson has emailed in.
Dickers!
Dickers Danderson.
Oh, what are you
he's,
doing, Dindo?
He's probably our biggest fan.
Diddler, you little diddler!
Exactly. He has emailed in, as ever. Ricky, your show fascinates me. How do you maintain such levels of senseless drivel? That's from Randers, from Randy Anders. as I call
Little
him.
diddle donners!
Oh! So, thanks again,
Dudley.
for that, yeah.
Well done, he's, yeah, that's great. I
Nice
get a
stuff,
buzz. I was disappointed last week where he didn't, ask him why he's, didn't
He
email us
didn't
last.
respond last week. No, it's a shame.
Probably
that.
busy. I don't believe he had something better to do.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
I can't believe that of anyone. When
No, on
you've
a
got this
Saturday
sort of
afternoon.
level,
Exactly.
intense chat. What have you done this week, Carl?
Well, I've had got a few days off, haven't I?
Yeah.
Still, doing stuff for this show and that, but managed to
Well,
get a
not
few
really.
hours in.
Yeah, not really.
Just doing nothing, and bought a place. So I was looking at kitchens,
Yeah.
weighing some of them up, and
Yeah. Checking them out.
checking them out, and also ordered a sofa.
Yeah.
Nice sort of comfy, sort of leatherish sofa.
Oh, a leathery.
Oh, I don't like leather sofas. I don't,
No, yeah, but what are you picturing?
A leather sofa.
A leather sofa.
Yeah,
I
but
just,
like
it's squeaky and it's...
No, this isn't.
Isn't it?
No, this isn't like that.
But I want a really old, sinky into fabric. I want a sofa that is as comfortable as a bed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if it was acceptable, you'd have a bed in your lounge, wouldn't you? If that was allowed, without seeming like you were sort of, like, elderly, or
That would be good. And I'd have a drip going in.
Yeah.
Sort of like with nutrients. You know, I can't be bothered to chew.
No, you can't,
Sort of lager with sort of, vitamins. And then one going from the knob down to the toilet.
To the lavatory, yeah.
And with all the remote controls. And that would be amazing.
To be fair, you're almost there, Rick. I've certainly seen the toilet tubing when I've been round in the past.
My dad's bed, right? My dad would never change his chair. Well, I would try and get rid of it, because it would just fit to him, and it'd just be absolutely dilapidated, right? And
What, it's like he had like his own chair in the lane?
Yeah, his own chair, right? And then, and his bed, right? When, they had separate rooms towards the end. And his bed, right? It had it for years, and it was a big dip. It was just like a spoon in the middle, where it was concave, where it said it. And my mum used to just vacuum it out.
Oh!
With all the little bits of, like, you know, he'd have a fag in bed, or he'd do his roll-ups in bed.
Yeah.
And,
oh,
he
that's
said to him, why do you like that bed? It's curved, you know, he goes, it means I can't fall out. I did, it was like, in a hammock. That's great.
That can't have been good for his back.
Well, I don't think it mattered towards the end of it. A hammock would be, I really would love a hammock. Or anything, a big beanbag would be good, wouldn't it? With a telly.
A beanbag as big as a bed would be amazing.
Yeah, but there's still the telly thing, because do you prop yourself up a little bit to watch it? Do you watch it on the side, which is annoying? Do you turn the telly on the side?
I've always wondered about that.
The weird thing is, right, you know, I've mentioned before about certain things that are just right, like your hand, 5 fingers is just enough, right? One more,
The sex tips.
it ruins stuff.
Yeah, well, one less.
One less, and you know, I was saying about drying your pots and that'd be really slippery and that.
Yeah.
Right? And the weird thing is, right,
I think that's what nature had in mind.
no, but like, my mum and dad, right, they moved to this little house, right? And, they had loads of furniture that they collected over the years without chucking out, and they've moved to this small house. So they just had too much furniture, right? And, they had this double bed, and that was for, like, you know, when friends come round and that, they can stay there. But the problem was he wanted to sort of put these wardrobes in the bedroom, right?
Right.
That went on either side of the bed.
Sort of wrapped around
because,
the bed.
Yeah, but because the room was so small, he thought, I can sort that out.
Yeah.
Right? And he sawed the bed.
He sawed the bed?
He sawed the whole thing, so you've got, like, your mattress, your bed, and everything. And
What, he just sliced some off?
Like a big sandwich, just cut a bit off the edge.
Cut the crust off.
How much is that, would you say?
About 8 inches, 6
About
inches.
8 inches.
But hold on, but that
Well, he
won't
cut
work. Because it'll all fall out the side, and then what happened to the springs and all the supports and stuff?
He
It'll just
sorted it
collapse.
out. It didn't all come out and that. I mean, it's not the comfiest bed. but the weird thing is, he did it, and even though it's only like that 8 inches or whatever, it totally ruined it. It's
Yeah,
like,
well, of course it would.
no, but what do you think I mean? I don't mean it ruined it as in, it looks a mess.
No, it would have been uncomfortable.
Not even that, though. Just the fact it's that little bit shorter. It's like, God, for 2 people, this is hard work now. This is like, you haven't got enough room, even though it's only 8 inches.
Why did he build the wardrobes first, without measuring, putting the...
I think he did all that, and then thought, oh, it'll easily fit in there, and it didn't, so he had to sort of saw a bit off the bed. But it's just weird how only 8 inches...
Did he use one of those electric saws?
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
presumably there was just kind of
What
sort
did
of
it-
material and wood just flying everywhere.
What did he do with the legs? Did he have to move the legs in a bit?
He moved the legs. Looking at it, right, once it's got, like, the quilt on it and everything, you wouldn't know. I was like,
Sure.
yeah, that's alright, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
And I went to bed at night, he's like, you know, sleep well. Got up in the morning after having about 45 minutes sleep and said, something not right with that.
Yeah.
And he
You
goes, "What do
really are
mean?"
your father's son, aren't you?
That's not
I said,
right
it's
with
not
that.
right. And he said, oh, well, I said, what have you done? It doesn't seem the same. And he said, oh, I had to shorten it, sort of thing, you know, to fit in the gap. I said, well, I can't sleep in it. I said, and there was a big kerfuffle. My mum was saying, look, you have our bed then, and we'll sleep in that one. And my dad was like, sod that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ruined.
You know,
Some idiot cut it.
so, there was a big debate going on about where we should sleep, and I was saying, look, you know, I only come and see you, like, every couple of, you know, probably once every 6 months.
I'm not being funny, but next time we go home, can I film it? Just for, Channel 4 or something.
Well, you know, I mean, the Osbournes is not on at the moment. The
Yeah, I know.
Pilkingtons.
It'd be-
Now that would be extraordinary.
Oh, Can we film it?
That's brilliant.
Is anyone from Channel 5 listening to this show?
Or Bravo.
Yeah.
The Pilkingtons.
Weird though.
Play a record?
What do you want to play? Do you want to play, do you fancy playing something of yours?
What, have we got
I
anything?
don't know, something that was sent in to you, maybe?
Oh yeah, no, I tell you, yeah, I'd like to play this. Yeah, Bronze Age Fox. Band from Bristol, my neck of the woods.
Always
play
working,
the tune, play
Carl,
the tune.
always working. He's
Play the
always
tune.
working. He's on the ball. He's on the ball. He's on the Bobby ball. Coldplay, The Scientist, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Carl, what are you doing?
I wish that's how you spoke.
Right, what are you doing then?
Let's have a quick reprise, if we could, of the Rockbusters clues.
Yeah, Rockbusters, if you just tuned in, you've missed it this week. It's your three
Well, no, you
clues.
haven't. That's why we're giving the clues again.
Yeah, I know, but if they haven't.
Eh? What?
Say if they've been busy.
Just give the clues again.
First one.
God.
Don't argue with him, because he isn't going to change his mind. That's AA. Second one, he always gets what he always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That's P. Yeah. And the third and final one, oh, I might have to put that woman in the oven. AB.
Interesting.
Are we telling him or still?
No. People have still got a chance to win those extraordinary prizes. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
We've still
Email
got
only.
features to come though, Steve. It's
Go on.
incredible. We've still got Ritual. Where, like, remember last time? People in India, it's good to have a flathead.
Yeah.
We've got Doing Edom.
Mm.
I've got That's Ridiculous.
That's a great game.
I thought of another phrase you could, just sitting here talking to you. Flogging a dead horse.
Yeah.
What do you think that means? Flogging a dead horse.
A number of people are still amazed by your complete lack of understanding some of these famous sayings and phrases. So
that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's like, you know, get a new horse or,
No, he hasn't got it.
no one's going to buy it
No, it doesn't mean that sort of flogging.
when you're hitting it.
Yeah.
right.
So what's the point in hitting it? So
It's dead anyway, so don't bother hitting it. It's
absolutely,
not feeling
it's pointless.
anymore.
It's a it just means it's a waste of time.
Yeah, but it depends what that horse has done to you.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does. It's that thing, innit, of like, if a bear attacked you and you managed to hit it on the head and it went down, you'd go and you'd be annoyed. You'd still have built-up aggression. You'd give it an extra clout.
Unbelievable.
That's extraordinary.
I don't know who's compiling this book.
Sometimes it's worth flogging a dead horse if he did something to you, if he annoyed you. With respect to Carl, never before have I understood so little of what a man says. Virtually everything that Carl talked about was aloof to me. What on earth was he ranting about? Flies and condoms, monkeys and pushing the left button, cavemen and dinosaurs. And that's just some of you. I mean, let's be honest, if you are in America, I mean, firstly, the accent is probably a problem.
But that is the best write-up we've ever had.
Yeah. Flies and... Imagine if you're a new listener, flies and condoms. What on earth does that mean? This one's from Kent Plummer from Nova Scotia, Canada. He says, Carl, he's wondering if you've got any personal mantras that you could pass along. For instance, he reminds us of Ben Franklin's famous mantra, waste not, want not.
Who said that?
Ben Franklin.
What did he do? What was his job?
Benjamin Franklin was a well-respected American politician from the 1800s. He was a sort of thinker, a philosopher, a scientist, deeply respected. Also a big political figure. He features on the dollar bill or the $10 bill or something.
Yeah.
So he's one of the great sort of American Enlightenment thinkers. And he came up with the mantra, waste not, want not.
You must know waste not, want not. I mean, that's just...
Do you understand the phrase waste not, want not?
No, not really, no. What does it mean?
You've never heard that?
I think I've heard it, but I don't know. I've never used it. But when someone else said it, I don't know what...
Well, in context, I mean, all I'm going to do now is paraphrase that and put some prepositions and stuff in it for you. I can't work out how you can't work out what that means. It's like, don't throw stuff away because you might need it, and therefore... You won't be wanting anything because you didn't throw it away. So,
so he was a bit of a
Well,
hoarder.
if you don't waste food, for instance, then you
he's
won't...
a bit of a hoarder.
For God's sake.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, he's a man in power. Is that the best thing he ever said?
No, I'm sure he came up with many, many profound
So
things.
why is that one
He did
remembered?
experiments in electricity and conducting electricity, all sorts.
But that impresses me more. Inventing electricity than someone.
He didn't invent electricity.
Wait a minute! Don't impress you more than what?
just saying. Well, it's not want not. I don't think it's that good. It's not even catchy. What I don't understand is why he was the first person to sort of suggest, look, don't go chucking that out. Keep it. You might need it later. If I
He
said,
wasn't the first person.
Say that again. That is brilliant. Why isn't that catch on? That is amazing that you've just come up with there. That's poetry. How would you word it?
I'd just say, whoa, don't be chucking that out. You might need that later.
Don't be chucking that out. You might need that later. Karl Pilkington.
Whereas someone like you
2005.
that waste not, want not is perhaps a little bit more pithy, a little bit more...
We should go through great sayings and phrases and say
See if he
Karl-
could, well, firstly,
Yeah.
does he know what they mean? And then secondly, can he improve them?
That would be brilliant.
Well, we'll
Let's
make it, we'll
do
do that
that
next
every
time.
week.
Let's see. Okay, Winston Churchill. Never have so few done so much for so many. What do you think of that? Do you know what that means?
So he's saying,
Well, it's with regard to the Battle of Britain and the pilots that gave their lives.
yeah, I'd just be annoyed if I was one of them who gave a lot for a few or whatever, right?
No, gave a lot for so many. If you were
well,
one of those few
yeah, if
that
I-
gave so much for so many, i.e., it means these few good men, their actions freed the world. They freed the world. They have an impact on
Yeah.
every person in the world, and they
Brilliant,
were few
yeah.
brave men. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I was one of them men who gave up his life, right, I'd want a name check. I don't want to be bungled in with everyone else who is saying a load of blokes gave it their lives. Well done on that. See you later.
That's brilliant.
Did you just say bungled in?
Yeah, bungled in. Yeah.
He made up a word.
I want to be bungled in.
You made up a word. See, that's it. You see, we've been looking for it. That's original. That's Karl Pilkington. I don't want to be bungled in.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution. Just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser, because it's dropping incrementally
Well, you see now, you
down
can
the
see
arse.
kids' underpants. So they're just dropping.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
Right.
Prediction 1.
Okay,
That's an amazing one.
They'll stop making trousers in the future. Okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
They used to say, you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'd probably put that first because he goes right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number
Give
1.
him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. No, they say put them down. You can. I'm gonna have such fucking dribble.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, "Ooh, what can number 3 be?"
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh God!
No, because
He was going to make a point about race. He said, "I never thought it would be. We'll blend all our food."
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
We had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say, take them out, you're not using them.
Yeah.
Why not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet.
Yep.
Soups.
Yeah.
You know, everything's softer,
Just
isn't it?
those
When you
two,
get an
but yeah.
avocado, they say, is it soft? Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a thing of the
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, hurry up, eat that. You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, hurry up. Like, I'm still eating
Well,
it.
he does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth. Done trousers. I've come up with this idea. It's sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5, fuck me.
So what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what
paradise.
You want to see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on, are you walking around? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No.
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an urban ghetto.
It's got loads of graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental, pointless, would never work. Absolutely one of the maddest things you've ever said.
Really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily done.
Why would it be? Okay,
Because
that last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of words.
No, we are.
now.
We are definitely running out of words.
Just using the letters we've already got and making new words.
Yeah, we're making,
No, but we haven't got enough now.
Of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
But they go mental with the L. Now what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. I mean, it's a stupid...
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
Have you just made that up?
No, it's now they go, I knew with Boswallots and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to, they come up with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word.
Is that real? You've made that up, is it?
I haven't. That's a real word.
Yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds that sounds all right.
He likes sodium. He doesn't
Happy
like
with that.
Boswallots.
Because it sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswallocks? Are you winding me up?
No,
the two of
it's
you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, "What's that letter doing in there?" Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of a word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
See? Strokes. Someday. No, that was a better choice, wouldn't it, to start off with? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously. Steve Mitchell.
No, come on, let's get my name right from now on. That novelty's worn off.
What is it? Is it...
Steve Merchant.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong one, isn't it,
The
Mitchell?
Guardian got it wrong, it's Steve Merchant.
The more I say Mitchell, the more people are thinking...
Exactly, it might be Mitchell.
Oh, God, sorry, Dave. But Carl wanted to start off with the stereophonics.
Oh, loser.
Because it was a newer track. And Carl now, we've made him what he is. He was nothing when we found him.
He's like work experience.
And now he's going, we should start off with stereophonics. I'm going...
Trying to tell you what to do, Ricky.
If I want anyone's opinion, I don't. Basically.
But you probably come to me, I imagine, wouldn't you? I'd be the first person.
Before Carl, I'd consult you, Steve.
Thank you.
Just keep it... Just because he was in a... Was it Pilkington making music? Pilkington's making... I bet you never pleased a crowd once.
Did. Loads of times.
Go on then, what did you play? What's the biggest gig you ever played?
I did like a social club gig.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about the music either. I used to...
What else could it be about?
I used to take prizes and cigars and stuff.
In a
youth club.
To give away.
I just love these, like, 14-year-old manx hanging out going, let's go down here, you might have some fags and cigars for us.
Well, it was whatever, like, was on my mum and dad's dressing table.
That could have been embarrassing, couldn't it?
That could have been deeply embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You've won.
And third prize, some handcuffs.
And a black mamba. I'm not saying that at any point in your upbringing, your parents left around any kind of marital aid on the dressing table. Don't think I'm saying that, Carl. I'm not suggesting. Like, he doesn't like this, does he?
Well, I can understand why.
Oh yeah, because it's about his.
It's about his parents having sex.
Well, they must have.
Yeah,
At least 3 times.
I think I was an accident.
They
still have had sex.
Carl. I think it's been ongoing.
Just because me brother and sister are quite older than me.
Yeah, me too. I was an accident. I know that. Yeah. How old's your brother and sister?
I think my sister's about 39.
Right.
And my brother's about 37.
Okay. And you're 29.
I'm like 29.
Right. So yeah, my next one's 11 years older than me.
Yeah.
That was definitely a.
Do you want to have a hug, you two, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're dealing with it now? You got over it?
Well, would you like to see us have a hug? Oh. You had a mobile
rubbish.
disco as well.
You're having a laugh, aren't you? Every single gig I did, it's dynamite. The people loved it. It was storming.
What was it
I
called?
ran it from about the age of 14 to 18.
What was it called? Was it called in
The name of our mobile disco?
Yeah.
It had 2 names in its lifetime.
Yeah.
It started its life as, bear with it,
Go on.
the rock and roll DJs.
Oh my god. The rock and roll D's, that's the worst. I mean, that's the worst.
Yeah. That's the most appalling. But then it became pretty bad after that, when it became the Fantasy Island Roadshow.
Why?
I don't know.
Because everyone up to you looked like Tattoo.
Partly that, and because I liked the programme Fantasy Island.
Why did you like the programme Fantasy Island?
Well, it was about love on an island.
It wasn't. It was about a midget on an island.
No, the midget was a minor character about people going to find
It's
love
a
and
minor
romance.
character.
You obviously switched off once the midget had gone off and said, there's the plane. Oh, that's that then. Your parents went, that's over then. It's only 5 minutes long. Yeah, well, it's...
Let's watch that fantasy midget.
Yeah.
What happened then? Because didn't they acted out their fantasies on an
Well,
island?
people
eh?
would pay to go to the island
Yeah.
to live out their own romantic fantasies, and invariably that's what
Was it
happened.
always it was always about getting
Yeah,
off
it was
with
a kind
people?
of love island, yeah.
Was it?
Well, no, not always. Sometimes they might be...
Maybe I didn't watch the whole one. Maybe I did just see him, like, smacking a
you
little
probably
tattoo
did.
round the head.
I think you just saw the trailer.
Oh, really?
But,
so what did I sort of go? I've always wanted to have someone in...
Well, no, it might be something like, I've always wanted to sort of, live out, being a gunslinger in a Wild West frontier town, so you might kind of create that
But
fantasy.
what's that got to do with...
Well, he invariably would find love, or he'd sort out some emotional problem he had. It was much more a spiritual, emotional journey than
So,
it was
but
about little midgets running around.
But was it like, I'd like to be a cowboy, and, like, Remember the Shag?
Yeah, it was
and
like
while
Jim will
I'm
fix
there-
it. Like those letters you wrote to Jim will fix it. I'd like to meet 5 Star, and if something happens, so be it.
Well,
But no, I have to just say once though, this is my DJing credentials. I was once playing music at a scout jamboree.
Yeah.
When I was about 17,
Big
16,
gig then,
17.
big
Big gig. There was 1,000 scouts there.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and I tell you this, we were playing on stuff, they were loving it, they were dancing, it was in a big marquee.
Right.
I slapped on Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Right.
I went mad.
They went
moshing.
mad for it. They were moshing. They were climbing up the poles. The organisers were going, switch that off. Right, they're going crazy. And I was there going, no, that's what they like. I'm going to do it.
It was like Footloose.
It was unbelievable. It was just like Footloose. Then I came in with Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. The place
You
went
were-
wild.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get me off the decks. It was like Bill Grundy interviewing the Sex Pistols.
And then when the head of the army had you killed,
Exactly.
right, there was some sort of mafia thing, it was all hushed up, that the scouts went there one night with all candles and they stood by a grave, and that was the end of the film. It was a film, I assume. You're
No,
not
this
trying to-
genuinely happened.
I assume this didn't really happen.
Yes, it did. I swear to God, I was playing Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it went wild, and the organisers were going, switch that off, they're going crazy, and I was going, no, it's what they want.
Could I say something?
It was brilliant.
That, to me, I've known you for about 4 years,
Yeah.
and I've heard all those. That must be the highlight of your life.
Unbelievably so, yeah.
You've never had anything that good or exciting since, have you?
One day I hope to sleep with a lady, and hopefully it'll slide into second place.
Rock the
I love the fact you had at least 3 minutes to get that right.
I
to
know.
Prepare and get that right.
I know, but my mouth was full of Maryland cookies. Yeah. You know, last week, and this would blow your mind, he came in, do you know what he bought? For himself, about 10 penguins. He buys penguins still.
No. All wagon wheels.
Oh, I've never liked wagon wheels.
Not being a fan?
No, but I'm sorry about that. It's the Clash and Rock the Casbah. Talking about records, have I told you that time my brother-in-law,
he was moving out of his place, and I think moving in with my sister, and I was about like, I don't know, 13, and so he was about, 30, and I moved in, and, he brought round all, his records when he was storage to leave them at our house. Right, and he had all these old sort of records, 50s and 60s records, no, I was right, and they, put them upstairs, and I was looking through them, and, it's just all like Elvis stuff and Beatles stuff, and there was a mate of mine who loved Elvis, okay, and he had, loads of chemicals, yeah, he had loads of chemicals, and I was into chemistry, and, he said, let's swap me some chemicals for them, so I sort of nicked about 5 Elvis singles, and I got all these chemicals, and then, just guilt.
What sort of chemicals?
Just things like, you know, just things like from a chemistry set, just, you know, crystals and metals and manganese, all that sort of stuff that I just like to muck around with. And then the guilt just hit me. I just thought, well, he's gonna notice that. And one night, I just came downstairs and I confessed to my mum. And she went, alright, well, I won't tell him, but you've got to be good. And it's sort of like I was just really, really good for a year. And then I told you this. And
No, you haven't. You've just reminded me of something.
And then I remember, when I was about 18, my brother was talking about it, and he said, did you ever, play those records I left for you?
Brilliant.
He told my mum, he said, these are for Ricky. She just didn't tell me.
She was sharp, wasn't she?
She used opportunism there.
Oh, that's genius.
And, that was it. That's why I was good.
But you've never stolen anything since, have you?
No, I don't.
Except that spate of shoplifting after that to teach your mum a lesson.
yeah. Well, I went round, and, arson. No, I did. I just couldn't believe it. It was terrible.
I remember, and I think all kids go through a phase of shoplifting. Well, and when I was going through it, I used to just little things, just like magic markers and, magazines, Mars bars, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
cigars and dildos.
And one day, right?
Same thing.
My mate, Anthony, his mum called up my mum and said, I've got to meet up with you. I've got to have a word with you. And, she said, what about? She said, I don't want to talk about it over the phone. So she goes, oh, right. Well, yeah, come round tonight then. So anyway, my mum sees me, she don't want to be in an awkward position and, like, be a bit embarrassed and what have you. So she sees me and she goes, right, Anthony's mum's coming round. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
So I go, oh, God. I said, I've been nicking stuff. So she goes, like, what? So, not big stuff. I've had a few calculators and, Mars bars and stuff.
How many? I'll just work it out, hold on. Works out at 7.2 per day.
So,
how many calculators do you need?
So it was when that phase.
You failed maths, didn't you?
Everyone wanted a calculator. It was like a trendy thing, wasn't it? Right?
Oh, yeah. In Manchester a couple of years ago, yeah.
So, anyway, so I told her all this and I confessed to, like...
Computers will make it there one day.
I confessed to...
There's magic in the back of battery. Go on.
Confessed to nicking all this stuff. She comes round, she only wanted to borrow some money.
Brilliant.
She said, oh, I don't like asking, I was a bit embarrassed to ask you over the phone, but can I borrow 20 quid?
Oh, that's fantastic.
And there's me.
That's great.
And it's similar sort of thing to yours.
And did you...
And he went, hold on, Mum, let's just work out the interest on that. Bank 10%. She'll owe you £4.40. Oh,
so your mum was a loan shark.
yeah.
And did she mention
She went,
that you nicking stuff with that other? Because what I'm saying is, presumably you got your mate in trouble.
No.
Right, you didn't.
No.
She went, no worries, I'll just go and get my purse, it's on the dressing table.
Exactly. Yeah.
Carl!
Do you want a cigar?
What other things you used to give away at your disco then that you'd find on the dressing table? You used to go into your parents' room and go, what can I give away tonight?
It was stuff like cigars.
Yeah.
I'd like cigars.
Yeah.
I had a pair of tights.
What do you mean?
Unopened. You know, you get them in like a long...
Who did you give that to?
Just whoever did the prize. It was stuff like, you know, we did like a little raffle.
Just imagine Carl going there just for a pair
Who's
of
going joyriding this
Pretty
week?
Polly, sheer. Exactly.
Yeah, who's doing a bank job this week?
Exactly, that's what it was used for, yeah.
Just little bits of, you know, unopened makeup, just stuff like that.
And did their parents not notice?
Well, no, because it's stuff that you're not that bothered about. If a telly went missing, they'd notice it.
They would, wouldn't they? They'd be staring at a wall for 3 days.
But a pair of tights and a cigar and that,
Yeah.
got away with it.
Yeah.